This is the GIS Evening Report for Thursday, April 25th, 2024. I am Sherry-Ann Noel. In the headlines, Lower House passes Electronic Communications Bill and resolution to implement 90-day gun amnesty. Details to this and more after the break.
KERO, Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th. Coming together to preserve and showcase our culture is who we are. Friday the 26th, Belmont at the Chapel. Early morning libation, 3 p.m. Saraka, 7 p.m. the official opening ceremony and cultural evening. Saturday from 10 a.m. Hillsborough Square. It's Strings in the City. Then at 8 p.m. we move to the Botanical Gardens for cultural explosion with local and regional performances featuring Touch, the band. Admission $60. Then on Sunday, it's the grand finale, Paradise Beach. From 12 noon, musical entertainment. And from 4 p.m., Paradise Beach Bands, cultural entertainment and live music. Admission $20. Come and learn to dance the quadrille and big drum on Paradise Beach every Sunday after the launch until the festival ends. KERO, Maroon and String Band Music Festival 2024, April 26th to the 28th.
Welcome back. The Lower House of Parliament has passed the Electronic Communications Bill 2024 that seeks to reform the law relating to telecommunications in contracting states of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority (ECTEL). During an interview with the Government Information Service on conclusion of Thursday's sitting, Member of Parliament for St. George North East, Honourable Ron Redhead, said the bill seeks to allow a more liberalized and non-discriminatory entry into the electronic communications sector by enabling a robust competitive environment.
It enhances it from what we had as telecommunications by including electronics, so taking care now of the modification in technology that exists today. There are two main changes with this bill that it introduces. The first one, it has to do with the question of the separation of the NTRC from being the agency to monitor and still adjudicate if there is any breach of this law. And secondly, introducing penalties that were never really associated. So you almost had a situation where it was like a toothless tiger. And now you're putting in penalties, which is clearly defined this time around as to what is to be expected. So that is the difference with this whole bill. It's part of a suite of bills that existed prior. Consultations by Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business, as they mentioned, dates back as far back as 2009 in relation to this specific bill. And we are aware of the previous administration doing some work in that regard to get it to a stage, but certainly this is a continuation of a process started a long time ago.
The Electronic Communications Bill 2024, Honourable Redhead says, does not seek to reduce in any way the roles and functions of the National Telecommunications Regulations Commission, NTRC.
There would not be reduced roles. What it would mean is that we are specifying the role of the NTRC now and its purpose and function and giving it more life to be able to fulfill its true mandate. The Commission will have the ambit to determine how measures are going to be enforced. Again, it's going to be somewhat of a consultatory process. So it's not going to be something that is hard and fast. When the law is passed, it's not to say that this shall apply in a strict sense, because it's open to interpretation. In addition to that, you have to deal with a situation where a judgment will have to be handed down. So you can't say that penalty X will be applied because you say 10,000. Sometimes you could use your discretion.
The bill, Honourable Redhead says, received support from both sides of the House and reiterated the point that its main focus is to harmonize how we treat with electronic communications.
Some of the smaller entities in terms of social media and little podcasts and so on, it's not going to directly impact them because they are not dealing with the infrastructure of being licensed. You're not performing a duty that requires you to be licensed, so to speak, and then that will fall under that. So you have to be licensed first and foremost for you to be able to fall under the ambits of this particular legislation.
Members of the Upper House will debate the bill when the Senate meets 9 a.m. on Friday. The proceedings will be broadcast live on GIS and its social media pages. The lower house of Parliament has passed a resolution for the implementation of a firearms amnesty from May 1st to July 30th, as government seeks to reduce the number of illegally possessed firearms and ammunition circulating in the country. Government says the amnesty is in the best interest of the public. The resolution was brought before the House by Leader of Government Business, Honorable Philip Telesford.
No one who surrenders or in the act of surrendering these weapons, Mr. Speaker, will be prosecuted. They are allowed to do so in absolute anonymity and will not be required to disclose any information pertaining to the possession of the firearm. Persons may also surrender firearms and ammunition through their attorney at law. And Mr. Speaker, we are well familiar with attorneys who seek to maintain the peace. And so we believe it is wise, Mr. Speaker, that those in possession of the firearms, these illegal weapons, who do not feel comfortable going directly to the police, may so do by surrendering it to an attorney.
Minister Telesford says a database of the illegal weapons will be established, collecting information like the serial number and model of weapon.
All of these weapons so collected will be placed in a secured deposit bin under lock and key to ensure that they're properly accounted for and properly destroyed or disposed of at the appropriate time and under the appropriate instructions. The Firearm Order of 2024, Mr. Speaker, will come into force immediately upon the publication in the Gazette, Mr. Speaker, to facilitate the commencement of the Firearm Amnesty as of the 1st of May.
We take a break. More news when we return.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP.
I am VIP. I am vaccinated. I am immunized. I am protected. Our children and nation depend on vaccination for immunization. Childhood vaccination is national priority. It is their protection from disease and sicknesses. Let's all be VIPs and safeguard our beautiful Grenada. I am DJ Blackstorm and I am a VIP health champion. Be a VIP like me.
Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Minister for Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Honorable Delma Thomas, says designs will be completed this year in preparation for the construction of a new drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. The former nursing quarters in Marabou St. Andrew has been identified as a suitable construction site for the center.
We are committed not only to accept the monies from the Grenada Cooperative Bank and let it sit in an account and dry, but we are committed to rebuilding what was known as the Carlton Home, a rehabilitation center for drug addicts and alcohol addictions. We are in the process of doing feasibility study. Our designs will be completed this year, and the clearing of the site will also be completed in 2024 to signal that we will start work in 2025. A government, Mr. Speaker, who does not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. We will, Mr. Speaker, after 20 years of the advent of Hurricane Ivan, where our center was damaged, this new government will rebuild a rehabilitation center aimed at addiction so that our citizens with addiction problem can be reintegrated into society and make a meaningful contribution.
During a meeting of the House of Representatives on Thursday, Minister Thomas praised the Grenada Cooperative Bank and its partners for contributing more than $500,000 to assist the government of Grenada in this initiative. She says the support from the private sector demonstrates a commendable partnership between business and government to address crucial societal needs. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says effective Monday, April 29th, individuals with a valid license for a minimum of 5 years will have the opportunity to upgrade their driver's license to D-Class for a fee of $35 EC, in the process eliminating the burdensome requirements of undergoing an examination process. This initiative was first presented by Minister for Finance Honorable Dennis Cornwall during the 2024 budget statement. According to the Prime Minister, this will soon be gazetted in the statutory rules and orders. GIS spoke with the Prime Minister after Thursday's sitting.
The upgrade of the license is straightforward and simple. Any person who currently holds a B-class driving license can upgrade to a D-class at a fee of $35 plus the regular cost of the current B-class license that they've already paid for. Any person who has a C-class license and have held that for 5 years or more can upgrade to a D-class driving license at the same fee of $35, subject to whatever they've already paid for the C-class. And anyone who has a C1 class license can also upgrade to a D-class license, paying the same $35. This should go in effect on Monday. We expect that the Gazette will come out on Friday, which will be the final act required to make this law.
The Prime Minister said this will be an ongoing initiative.
It's permanent. It's a permanent change in the law. So as we go on, anyone, for example, if you're currently driving at 4 years this year, next year you would be 5. On attaining your 5th anniversary of holding your B-class or C-class or C1 class license, you can then upgrade to the D-class.
We take our final break. We will be right back.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. Make us all VIPs. Take your vaccine, get immunized and protected. Kids, let's build our immunity to have a healthier society. I'm vaccinated, I'm immunized, and I'm protected. Get vaccinated, for we the children's future. Protect this mindset together. Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Minister for Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, Lennox Andrews, has reassured that steps are underway to resolve the current water distribution challenges faced by the Marable Propagation Station and the farmers it serves. Recently, farmers benefiting from the Marable water system have been informed that the Ministry of Agriculture is presently conducting a review and oversight of all individuals connected to the Marable Agricultural Station water system. The letter highlighted the impact of illegal connections on water supply to the propagation station, hindering its ability to meet annual propagation targets for economic plants and planting materials. Consequently, the Ministry of Agriculture decided to disconnect all illegal connected individuals within 30 days, effective March 12, 2024. Minister Andrews addressed the matter during a session of the Lower House of Parliament on Thursday.
Mr. Speaker, we have no problem with the farmers. We have no problem with the farmers. We met with the farmers, and we are moving swiftly to resolve the issue with the water supply. The problem is that there are individuals, private individuals, who hooked on illegally to the water supply. And in the dry season, when the Marable propagation station needs adequate water to provide the plantlets for all the farmers, they're not getting enough because of this. Good? So I personally visited the whole farm. I look at the irrigation system. They turn it on for me. There is indeed a shortage of water for the Marable propagation station. We identified some of the problem. I met with Nawasa, I think it's yesterday or the day before. I think it's yesterday. I met with Nawasa. And Nawasa, part of the problem is that there are some broken mains and some tanks that are leaking, some, yeah. NASA has, in fact, taken the decision they're going to fix those broken mains before Friday. Good. And we are working together with NASA to ensure that adequate water supply is provided to the Maribor Farm, the Maribor Progression Station, and of course to the adjoining farmers who also depend on the water for their agricultural purposes.
And finally, students from over 35 schools in Grenada at both the primary and secondary level were exposed to numerous musical instruments on Wednesday at the SP's Ministry of Education Music Fair held at the Grenada Trade Center. Karine Moraine tells us more.
An atmosphere filled with the sound of music and great excitement by the students at the inaugural SP's Music Fair. Salisha Paul, manager of SP's, shared the objective of this new event and says she believes the event met its objective.
Well, the music fair was designed to inspire our young people, particularly the primary school and secondary school students, to open them into the world of music, let them see the different instruments that are out there, some that they may not have interacted with before, and so that they will be inspired to go out into their schools and start music bands, school orchestras, and so that Grenada on a whole can benefit from music education, and then we can have more music professionals on island. When I had envisioned this day, I was particularly curious to see what would be the feedback from the children and to see their faces, and they were in awe, they were wowed, they were enthused, they were moving from booth to booth, excited to learn more, to play, to interact. And I think generally, overall, the objective of the event was met in that we had students who are now going back to their schools inspired and interested in playing a musical instrument.
Many of Grenada's seasoned musicians were facilitators at this event. Cavell Isaac spoke of his interaction with the students.
And they're very intrigued by everything. A lot of them, they're in the corner with the drums making noise, but a lot of them definitely was interested in the piano. They want to learn to play that, and I could see that. I believe that if the schools and them really take it and run with it and nurture that skill in them, I think a couple of years from now we will have a lot of good musicians, I think, because I realize they're catching along quickly.
The students enjoyed every bit of the experience and have also shown interest in playing an instrument.
These days need to engage in more constructive activities, and I think that this would have helped very, very greatly, especially the display of the pan. I personally was inspired by that. I just love to hear that beautiful rendition, and now I have an interest in learning that instrument.
It's great, and it was the best day of my life.
Wow, what stood out most for you? What stood out most for you?
The guitar.
The guitar? What about you?
The drums.
Yes, and what you thought about today's event?
He was great, he was amazing, I had fun.
I am Karine Moraine Alexander reporting.
Thank you, Karine. And with that story, we come to the end of the GIS Evening Report for Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Now for a recap of the top story. Lower House passes Electronic Communications Bill and resolution to implement 90-day gun amnesty. I am Sherry Ann Noel. Thank you for viewing.